And it's like, Paige is already being treated like she's an MVP.
Coming in hot, Paige Bueckers is officially the #1 overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, fresh off an NCAA championship with UConn. And honestly, the WNBA couldn't have scripted a better headline to kick off the season, but of course the media just couldn't help themselves. They've launched straight into full-blown delusion, twisting themselves into pretzels trying to convince fans that Paige is the second coming of Caitlin Clark, or at least worthy of the same pedestal. Seriously, wait until you hear some of the takes. It's wild. But here's a quick message for anyone buying into the hype that Paige Bueckers is about to be Caitlin Clark 2.0. Pump the brakes.
Reality is coming.
Tired of the media playing games? Yeah, same here. If you're expecting Paige Bueckers to step into the WNBA and instantly replicate Caitlin Clark's impact, you're in for a serious letdown. Because behind the scenes, WNBA general managers are already having real conversations about what's actually going to happen. And trust me, it's not the fantasy the media keeps pushing. I've got the receipts, and it's time to lay it all out. We're diving deep, cutting through the noise, and shutting down the hype train once and for all. But stick around till the end, because there is one rising star who just might have the power to outshine both Paige and Caitlin. And the buzz around her? It's real. Before we jump in, hit that like button if you're done with the media selling fairy tales.
With the first pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Bueckers, University of Connecticut.
So, Paige Bueckers just went #1 overall in the WNBA draft, and naturally, with the league eager to build on its momentum and shift the spotlight beyond just one star, the media's already pushing the narrative. She's the next Caitlin Clark. Or at the very least, she should be. But let's be real, this hype train didn't start today. It's been quietly picking up steam since March Madness, when Paige dropped that impressive 40-piece in the Sweet 16. From that moment on, the comparisons to Caitlin Clark started flying in fast and furious. But here's the thing, shutting down those comparisons, that's actually pretty easy. Just like Mick did right here, with precision, facts, and zero fluff.
And by the way, in 2 of those 3 games, Caitlin also had double-digit assists. By the way, all in wins, all in Elite 8 or Final 4 games, when Paige's was in a Sweet 16 game.
If you're out here saying, but Paige dropped 40, cool. Caitlin's done that 3 times. And here's the kicker, in 2 of those games, she also racked up double-digit assists. Oh, and all of those performances came in wins. On the biggest stages, the Elite 8 and the Final 4. Meanwhile, Paige's 40-point game? Sweet 16. Good game? Absolutely. But let's not pretend it's on the same level. Context matters. And when it comes to pressure, production, and impact, Caitlin Clark's resume still towers over the rest.
Most viewed WNBA draft of all time, with an average of 1.25 million viewers, with a peak of 1.46 million viewers, up 119% versus 2023. And I know what the question may be, 2023, 2020. Well, Ben, just out of curiosity, because we're all curious around here, right? We all want to be well-informed. What is it compared to the 2024 draft? Well, thank you guys for asking. I appreciate that. Here we go. It's down 49%.
But here's what's really wild. There's this bizarre, almost inverse relationship the media keeps trying to force between Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark. Either they're artificially inflating Paige, or they're subtly chipping away at Caitlin to make Paige look better by comparison. Take that recent Guardian article, for example. Instead of acknowledging the obvious, that Paige and Caitlin are 2 very different players, it claimed the real reason Paige doesn't get the Caitlin treatment is because she's more outspoken on social issues. And apparently Caitlin's fans just can't handle that. Seriously? Then you've got Nancy Armour from USA Today, calling Paige a transformative player on Caitlin's level, while lecturing Clark supporters not to lift up one player by tearing others down. The irony? It's those same media voices, constantly diminishing Caitlin to prop up someone else. I've covered this in previous videos, the endless unfair criticism of Clark's fans. the baseless claims that she only gets shine because of her race. It's not just insulting, it's flat out false. And let's not ignore ESPN trying to slide Paige's draft viewership into a headline by comparing it to 2023 numbers, completely skipping over 2024. You know, Caitlin Clark's historic record-breaking draft. Funny how they leave that part out.
It's really hard to impact the game as a rookie. One GM said, what Caitlin did last year was so special and unique. Paige is a special player. I think she'll be a good player this year, but I'm not expecting a Caitlin-like impact, and it's an unfair bar to set. Yes, obviously.
Why would ESPN conveniently leave out Caitlin Clark's record-breaking 2024 draft numbers? Simple, because they're trying to sell the illusion that Paige Bueckers is just as transformative. But you can't pull that off if you white. Put her side by side with the most impactful rookie in WNBA history, and make no mistake, league insiders see right through the spin. Behind closed doors, WNBA general managers are having real, unfiltered conversations. A recent report pulled back the curtain, and the message couldn't be clearer. They respect Paige. They recognize the talent, but they also know she's not Caitlin Clark. Not in reach, not in ratings, and not in revolutionary impact. Paige is great, but Caitlin, she's a once-in-a-generation force, and the league knows it.
With such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 32.
This shouldn't even be controversial. Anyone with eyes, and honestly a functioning brain, can see it plain as day. Caitlin Clark is operating on a completely different level. She's not just a great player, she's a cultural force. Her impact, her star power, her ability to elevate all of women's basketball? It's unmatched. She's in a league of her own, orbiting somewhere the rest haven't even reached yet. And no matter how hard some corners of the media, or even the league, try to position Paige Bueckers as the next Caitlin, it's just not happening. Paige is extremely talented, but she's not Caitlin Clark, and here's the best part. We don't even have to guess. No need for speculation. The numbers are in, ratings, ticket sales, merchandise, attendance, and they don't whisper the truth. They scream it.
So far, there's already statistical evidence, actual analytics, facts don't care about your feelings, showing that no, she is not moving the needle in women's sports or women's basketball nearly to the effect of Caitlin Clark.
This season, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are absolutely taking over your screens, appearing in a jaw-dropping 41 of their 44 games on national television or major streaming platforms. ESPN, ABC, CBS, you name it. Flip on your TV at almost any moment, and chances are you'll catch Clark pulling up from the logo, lighting up sold-out arenas. To put this in perspective, the Las Vegas Aces, a perennial powerhouse, are next in line with 33 nationally aired games. The New York Liberty, stacked with MVPs and fresh off a championship run, just 32. These are elite, proven teams. Yet the networks made a clear and calculated choice. They chose Caitlin Clark. Now let's take it a step further. The Indiana Fever sold out a 15,000-seat arena for a preseason game against Brazil's national team. Yes, a preseason game. It sold out faster than some NBA playoff matchups. The buzz was so massive, ESPN broadcasted it nationally, one of the first ever WNBA preseason games to receive that kind of spotlight. Still not convinced? Major franchises like the Atlanta Dream, Chicago Sky, and Washington Mystics literally moved their home games into full-sized NBA arenas just to keep up with the ticket demand when Caitlin and the Fever come to town. One player. One rookie. Reshaping venue logistics and rewriting the business playbook of the league. And when you stack that against Paige Bueckers, well, the contrast is blinding. Despite the media's desperate push to crown Paige the next Caitlin, there's simply no comparison. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game, she is the game.
Defined as
Left college, the NCAA women's tournament viewership didn't just dip, it collapsed. The 2024 championship game, without Clark, drew just 8.5 million viewers. Compare that to 2023, when Caitlin was front and...
How about number one to start with? She's not nearly the player that Caitlin Clark is.